Most delicious segment in all of sports television. We're down to the final two slices, Denver and Miami. So without further ado, let me wish you bon appetit.
It's Title Pie, and it is the season finale of Title Pie. Well, okay, then make your own pie. It'll be terrible. Last week we were also down to two slices, but now we do have our final installment before the finals begin. At 49.9%. Up 0.9%.
Oh, up 0.9.
It's the Denver Nuggets, which therefore, of course, means at 50.1%, down 0.9%, is the Miami Heat. So why the change from a week ago when smart people everywhere knew a week ago this was going to be the finals? Well, we thought that the Heat were going to get a bit more rest than they did. Now, luckily, they didn't suffer any real injuries. I know Gabe Vincent turned his ankle, but he's fine. And that is offset to a degree by the fact that there's now a report that Tyler Hero will be back for the NBA Finals at some point. And while I think this team has found quite the groove without Tyler Hero, I do think the ability to insert your second leading scorer mid-finals could be a nice wrinkle for the Miami Heat. But as you can tell, the proprietary algorithm of Title Pie has this series on knife's edge, which is why before I make my official pick, because I find it this close, I am going to have the tiebreaker be which team is saddled with what has been impossible to overcome, the curse of Broussard.
I don't know. I remember Golden State and Sacramento. I remember lighting a gold beam up in this piece.
You're right. That there.
I don't remember hearing any Broussard curse at that point.
Okay, yeah. I mean, was that in series in March? I don't even remember.
I remember Boston and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Somebody's finals pick.
You know what?
I remember. I don't remember any Broussard
He's right about that.
Being uttered
even
then.
The curse of Broussard is not strong enough to overcome the two highest scoring Game 7s in NBA history. But aside from that, it has felled all competitors. Go ahead.
Okay, look, you're going to have to explain to me and the rest of America. We're looking at this like you're picking the Heat.
Well, am I
crazy to think that? But anyway, I am going with Denver.
Thank you.
Okay? And here, you thought I was going to go with the Heat now? Because they took down the scatterbrained Celtics? No. All right, here's a few. I know I was 10 toes down. But they are scatterbrained. I call them like I see it.
Every time one of Bruce's team loses, he calls them silly or scatterbrained.
I call the Timberwolves silly. I never thought big.
Go ahead.
All right, here's the reasons. Number one, Spoelstra, who is a great coach, will not have this Grand Canyon-sized coaching advantage over Michael Malone, who is also a great coach. That's number one. It'll be close. Number two, Denver does not lose focus like the Celtics.
Good.
All right, when it's time to take care of business, they do. They get rid of Minnesota in 5. They get rid of Phoenix in 6. They sweep the freaking Lakers of LeBron and AD. Like, that's impressive. To go into L.A. and beat LeBron and AD twice, that was impressive. So I don't think they lose their focus and give away games like the Celtics obviously do. And then Nikola Jokic. Who's dealing with – I mean, Miami's a small team. And so Jokic is going to have his way. He's won his last 6 games against the Heat. And you see his numbers. The points is actually down. But that's because, Jamal Murray plays some of those games. He doesn't score as much when Murray's there. He doesn't have to.
Field goal percentage.
But you look at the field goal percentage. Look at the 3. And so this year they beat. Now I know this year Miami was banged up. So the regular season obviously doesn't matter that much with Miami. But for the record, Denver was 2-0 against them and beat them once without Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray.
Okay.
So I think the bigger slice should be for Denver. I got Denver in 6.
Bruce, big on the Nuggets. Got it. Go ahead, Wild.
Well, as you know, as you guys were picking teams that are no longer playing, I had Denver, I believe, in October.
You did.
Maybe September.
You did.
Maybe
well, them in Orlando.
No. We got to give Wild his credit when it. Listen,
thank you.
Wild's been on this show for 3.5 years.
I've gotten 2 things right.
What was the other one?
Well, Puxatawny Phil of football, I always get that right.
Okay, all right.
Segment right
but
every
as
week.
far as season-long picks, he's had some tough ones.
Yes.
Denver, Oh, look at Brew.
That's inappropriate.
Denver, he is nailed. So you do get full credit. So go ahead, Wilds.
Okay. So I am, you are facts and you are feelings. I'm transparent. So here's why I'm a little bit worried about my Denver pick.
Oh, you're going to waver at
I'm
the last
not wavering. I'm
Oh,
transparent.
Wild, you are there.
I'm not wavering.
You are on the cusp. You're on the doorstep.
I'm not wavering. I'm just transparent.
Okay, go ahead.
Can we see my graphic? Here's the
Please.
problem.
Yeah.
I keep picking against the Heat because, like the Bucks won more games, just like the Celtics and just like the Nuggets. And then the offensive rating is better for all three of those teams. They shoot more threes. The Heat can't shoot threes until you watch the game. And Jimmy Butler's taking running, catch and shoot threes that are going in.
Yeah.
Rebounds, those are important. The Bucks are supposed to grab all the rebounds.
Yeah.
Denver's not even that good. But the Heat are terrible. And I picked those two teams to beat the Heat.
Yeah.
That being said, third time's the charm. I'm going with Denver in 5.
Wow.
Fast
Five.
series.
So how are you wavering and you're going
I'm not wavering. I'm
Wilds
just
is in a glass
transparent.
case
You were-
of
yeah,
emotions
you were
right now.
kinda-
The Heat
Yeah,
deserve
talk about
respect. We
scatterbrain.
can't just be like, oh, who's
they
going to
do.
deal with Joker? I'm like,
Five
yeah,
is
who's going to deal with
respect.
Tatum? Who's going to deal with
5
Giannis?
is respect.
Okay. Well, me, Brew,
I'm steadfast.
hold on.
Golly.
Brew,
Denver in 5.
we
I
don't get,
want to give the Heat
Okay,
major respect.
so-
It might go 7, but I'm saying
now,
6.
all right, I feel better than ever. Because Wilds, contrary to what you might think, America, Wilds is not dumb.
That's true.
And Wilds right there wanted to go with Miami.
He sure did.
Because he is feeling what
go.
I have felt before the playoffs even started. Now, I will
winning the
admit,
games.
I
That's
did
the
not pick
problem.
them to
Okay.
beat Milwaukee. I thought Giannis
And you
was going to
didn't
be a
think
Mountain
they'd
Dew
beat
climb.
Boston if they had met. You were saying,
Oh.
it's going to be tough.
And,
It's
yeah,
going to be
I-
hard.
yeah,
They're going to
we
make
didn't-
them work.
exactly.
They're going to wear them
Yeah.
down.
And
But
then- yeah,
I got the Celtics.
And then except that series never happened. And then from the moment they beat Milwaukee, I've never picked against them. Contrary to Chris Broussard, who's picked against them in every series and in 18 of 19 games, and now we're going to go
Where's
4 of 4.
18 of 19?
4 of 4. Also, so here's the
not
deal.
accurate.
This is not, though, just because of the curse of Broussard. You mentioned that it is not going to be the coaching gulf that it was Missoula and Spo. I agree, but I also think Michael Malone should keep his eye on the ball. Because Michael Malone has had a lot of time, evidently, to watch sports television.
Yeah, he likes it.
Or else how else would
a
he know
fan.
what our, A-block topics have been while he is supposed to be breaking down film? Because my goodness, Michael Malone, he and Andrew Marchand, evidently, the last media critics alive. So there is that element to it. Furthermore, and this part I know you'll agree with me on, historically, it's not always, but in the NBA, there are steps to becoming a champion. Miami has been banging on the door.
True.
With Jimmy and Spo. Their first year together, they make the finals. They then have an odd down year with some injuries. The next year, they're the number 1 seed and a game 7 of the conference finals. And now this year, they are back in the finals. This should be the year they break through. Meanwhile, Denver, it would make, I think Denver with Jokic, he has shown it this postseason that he is more than capable of a deep postseason run. He's not running out of gas. I think they eventually will win a title. I don't think it is this year that they win the title. They definitely have the most dominant offensive player in the series. However, I'm going to add one other piece, which is to circle back to the Michael Malone, why don't you talk about the Nuggets more? If people did talk about the Nuggets more, we would have talked a lot more about a couple years ago when your guy knocked someone out for the season with a cheap shot. Well, so you can say that this is fine, Wilds. I know somehow you think what Markieff Morris did warranted that. I disagree.
Joker got cheap shotted first.
Okay, but Joker got hard fouled?
No.
Okay, we can run the whole thing again. Joker's running you know who disagrees with you is Jimmy Butler. And there is an element of, I wonder how many times this video, Wilds thinks what Markieff Morris did, which you
thought
just
that
saw,
was a normal foul?
I thought it was a hard foul. And I thought what Joker did was suspendable, and it also actually knocked him out for the year with whiplash. And so we didn't talk much about it because we don't talk much about the Nuggets. So people forgot about it. I think that's a little extra. And I think Udonis Haslem is going to have that video on his phone for everyone before tip-off of